In this video I will show you what happens behind the scenes as soon as you press the upload button. Let's say we have the following code. I will serial begin. I will define an integer variable called a with a start value, and this start value will be defined as 1, and inside of the loop I just increment the value and print it. Perfect. And now let's look behind the scenes. So the first thing that happens after you press upload is that the code is saved, and then it will be processed by a thing called the preprocessor. And what it does is it manipulates the code according to the macros. Now our macro is in the first line, define start value 1. And what the preprocessor now does is it takes this code and it basically does the following: search for start value, replace with 1, and replace all. Boom. And then it deletes the macro. That's basically what it does. Now the next step is the compiler, and the compiler translates the code into assembly language. The thing about this code you see here is Arduino can't execute this code. Arduino doesn't speak this language, in fact. Now some of you may say this is crazy, but this language is actually designed for humans to write code and not for the Arduino to understand our code. Now after checking for errors and optimizing our code, what the compiler does is it translates this language into assembly language. Now I'm using a very simplified version of the assembly language, just so that you know what is going on. So what happens now is the compiler takes this code and translates it into assembly. So it will, for example, in this case, I will load 1. This is my variable right here. Store it in the memory place A, and then I load A again. I add the number 1. I store it inside of A, and I output A. And then I need to jump to my marker loop that doesn't exist yet, but my loop is right here. And then we need an end statement. So this is what the compiler does. It translates our code into assembly language. The assembly language now comes very close to what's going on inside of our microcontroller at the time of executing our code. But there are 2 more steps. The next step is the assembler. It converts the assembly language into machine code. So it takes the assembly code and translates it into machine code. And now machine code is just binary format. It's just numbers. It's a very efficient way to store the commands. Now every CPU has a thing that is called instruction set. It is all the commands that can be executed in the hardware of the CPU. And the machine code is now usually divided into 2 parts. The first part is the opcode. It tells you the type of instruction. And the second part is the operand. So 11 stands for load in this case, and the operand is 1. So we load the number 1 into the accumulator. Then we have store A. Store is the number 12 in this case, and A is this memory here, and it has the address 64, and that's why it is 64 right here. So we store whatever is currently inside of our accumulator into A. Then we load A, so we take whatever is inside of A and put it into the accumulator, and we add 1. We store the result into A. We output whatever is stored inside of A, and then we jump back to load A. And this happens over and over again, and so the outcome is the same. it counts up. But we're not there yet. We now have object files. The next step is the linker. And the linker combines these object files from your code and any libraries. I haven't talked about libraries yet. In our code, we're using serial. The code that implements the functionality of serial is stored as an object file. And the reason is to increase the speed of the process, because I don't need to change the serial object every time I compile. The serial functionality that is implemented by the Arduino team will not be changed. Only my code. We can take these object files and combine it with our object file to the final binary. And then we move to the next step. The next step is, how do we get this binary to our Arduino? The first step is a reset. So the process works like this. After the computer generated this binary, it resets the Arduino. And after reset, the Arduino by default starts a small program that is called Bootloader. The Bootloader checks if there is a computer attached that tries to upload a binary. And the computer is now using a tool called avrdude to upload the binary. Our binary is sliced into chunks, and these chunks are then uploaded, and the bootloader stores it into the flash memory of the microcontroller. Now the binary is stored in the flash, and the next step is that the Arduino resets itself. And now the bootloader checks again if there is someone who tries to upload a binary, but now it's not the case. And so it just continues to run our sketch. And I would like to give a shout out to the creator of the MOPS simulator. And if you're interested to play around with this thing, you can find it online. Just search for MOPS simulator, and then you will find it here. It's German, but it's super easy to work with, and you can find a download for Windows or for Mac OS and also for Linux. If this video was helpful, please like and subscribe to this channel if you're ready to dive deep into the world of Arduino. Thank you for watching. See you in the next lesson.